Welcome to the Extra Pass podcast. I'm Brad Newley, back with my regular co-host Adam Balls Ballinger, and it's the finale, the last episode, the last dance, the last podcast, whatever you want it to be, Balls. Here we are, episode 12, NBL25. Welcome back, mate.
Episode 12.
Episode 12.
Yeah, we're licking our wounds a little bit, but it's good to wrap everything up for one final time.
Bit of a somber occasion given Sunday's result. The players, they've been through it. You know, they've been in and out of the venue today and yesterday and going through their exit interviews and their strategies and kind of getting it all off their chests. Game 5, how did you see it? How did you see it play out? Did you think we were a chance, or, you know, what were the key moments in that game?
We were really fighting an uphill battle. I think being there in an away game and how hard that is to win. Energy-wise, we looked ready to play. I mean, if you're not ready to play that game, you know, you shouldn't be out there. We looked really good at the start. I thought energy-wise we matched their energy, but I just think it kind of overcame us with how much, I don't know, the crowd was into it, how much like Davo was pretty inspirational for them, and eventually things are going to start falling their way at home, and they kind of came over the top of us there in that second half. Yeah,
there was that moment, that second quarter run, that really put them up 10 at halftime, and then I guess maybe, you know, we look back at game 4, we kind of let that go. We lose on the buzzer game 3. Probably the build-up of can we come back again and again and again, and the guys left it all out there. They were exhausted. Credit to them that, you know, 2 grand final game 5s in a row. You know, it's hard to imagine going down like that 2 years in a row. Didn't feel as bad as probably last year. You know, we don't want to talk about that too much, but the reality is that the club's still in a pretty healthy position, man. Like two grand finals in a row. How many finals in the last how many years? So it's doing pretty well. We're right there.
Yeah, I think it's such a close second. I mean, so close. It's still second though.
Yeah,
you know, everybody wants
no hardware.
Only one team can finish with a win. I just think that both series. Obviously, in the last year, McVay hit that shot. Mm-hmm. You know, that honestly should have never went in.
I kind of compare that a little bit to Harvey's shot.
Well, and then we're talking about Harvey's shot, which so we're up 1.
That puts them up 2.
Yeah, but he's got the ball. I mean, not in a million. If at 10, we could do it 10 times again. You'd want him to take that shot every time.
Face-up jumper.
He didn't go to the basket. He didn't put pressure on the defense. He had a pull-up 3 in the face of a defender with good defense. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't hit that shot, the series is over.
It's on his head.
The series is over. Yeah. It's probably 3-0.
Potentially.
We sweep them probably. Mm-hmm. But who knows?
And the wind just comes out of your sails.
Yeah, but that's how close you are in sports to feeling on top of the world and then feeling lower than low.
The thing I did kind of throughout the series, everyone had a really good moment. You know, there was no one who you wouldn't say just had a terrible series. Everyone did something when their time came at one moment in the series. And, you know, you got to give a shout out to Delhi's performance. You know, he was the MVP of that grand final series. All credit to him. He left everything out there, mate. And by game 5, I think he was almost cooked, but he did everything he could and put the team on his shoulders, you know, without Shea. Shea got up for game 5. It's just tough situation when you're just running out of players, and credit to Delhi with that MVP.
Yeah, worthy of the MVP in my books. We might leave it at that, but he just never stopped. The guy never gives up. No matter, he could have missed the last 5 shots. You know,
he's not stopping.
Crowd booing him. He's fully confident in himself in all situations, and he comes through so big for us in so many ways.
Little shout out to the Hawks too. Congratulations, guys, on your title.
What is this, a Hawks podcast?
Yeah, no, we'll just give them a little bit of love. They've got a few of our old guys in there. Horse Peatling, young Chippy Triplet. Chippy Triplet, I used to call him Chippy. And of course, Davo, who spent a year with us as a development player. And I'd like to think, you know, him being here under our, you know, in a part of our, you know, system, he would have learnt some things. He would have taken into Illawarra, you know, how to play the right way. And the funny thing is, the things he was doing during the game were things he would do at practice out here, extra possessions, all those little things. And, you know, kids at home that never give up. You know, Davo is a late bloomer, and, you know, all of a sudden, you know, he's one of the best players in that series, and he's got himself a ring, hasn't he?
Yeah. perfect place for him right now. There's so many things the team needs, not just scoring.
Plenty of kind of focusing a little bit now on the good things that happen in NBL25. We touched on Delhi's performance across the grand final series. We can't go without saying, Chris Golding, another club MVP season that got announced the other night, along with Shea as the defensive player, the Share Award, and also the new award, the podcast run by Tommy Christie and his mates, Bring the Blue. They awarded Shea Illy the podcast player of the year. So that's the other podcast. IC dropping 38, game 3, some remarkable performances. Talk us through that one.
I mean, he stepped up when we really needed him. Like he's, as an import, as time's gone along and players everywhere around the world have gotten so much better. Imports have different jobs now than just coming in trying to score 40 every game. But there is a lot of pressure on you to perform. And when it's the grand final and we need points, he came up big.
Out and
yeah.
I think we were down against Perth at some stage. Yeah, that was huge. Touch CG, most points he's averaged in his career over 10 seasons. Hit 131 threes.
That is amazing.
That's incredible. At 36. I don't want to do him dirty. But to come out with a season like that, I always have thought he was going to have a season like this, given the missing out on the Olympics. Genuinely, when guys who've gone through an Olympic campaign or tried out for a team, they're in the best shape of their lives.
Yeah.
So he's just carried that through, and he looked great. Respect the way he looked after his body this year. I don't think he missed it. He missed a game this season, Chris?
He missed a couple before the road trip.
Yeah, there was something.
Yeah,
happened.
maybe
but
a calf.
Still,
good,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Shea, back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. Hopefully we see him back in blue next year. Whitey, first season back from the States after being with us beforehand. What did you make of Whitey's season?
He's a jack of all trades, pun intended.
Yeah.
Is that a pun if you use the same name? Yeah, it's a pun.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch. He's a great guy to have around the club. Like he ticks all the boxes.
Awesome.
Yeah,
he's been awesome.
He's worth the ticket. Cost of the ticket. Is that what I should say?
The price.
I'm not sure.
The price of admission.
Yeah, way more than that. He's worth way more than that. But just he's an awesome guy to have around.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what's next for Whitey. Does he go and have another crack at like a G League situation? Is he available to do 10 days and these kind of things? Are they still? I'm not sure if they're handing them out this time of the year or what. But he showed a lot of growth this year, particularly in the first half of the year. He was like double, almost guaranteed there at one stage. And finally, we've got to touch on Rob. Career best season for Rob at 33. Was that all? Rob seems way older than 30. Sorry, Rob. But 33, career best. And what talk to me about Rob's resurrection as a player here at United.
I think it feels like he's older because he retired already. And you think somebody come back.
He's from the long line of Melbourne United out of retirement players.
Early retirement and then coming back.
NBL26, watch out.
When he retired the first time, I did call it. Benny Hop, correctly? Behind closed doors, I called it. I said, he'll be back.
Of course.
He'll be back. Yeah. But, he had an awesome season. Another guy, and that's why we've been back to the finals 2 years in a row, is we got guys like locker room guys who everyone loves being around, who are willing to do anything on the court that the team needs. And, guys like that play for a long time. And not only did he hit big shots, but he's a fiery guy out there on the court, which, for the most part, if it doesn't hurt you, you love to see it as a coach and as a player.
Probably should touch on a few of the other guys too. I thought Kyle Bowen had a great year this year. His three-point percentage was really, really up there. He's only been playing 2 years, but career best from him. And he made a really good role, particularly when Whitey was out. He filled in that spot nicely, as did Tanner. Tanner Krebs showed some flexibility there across 2, 3, 4, those positions. He really showed he can play at that level in the NBL. And of course, we can't go without saying Flynn's impact earlier in the year was phenomenal. And everyone did their bit at some stage of the year where they had a huge impact on the roster, and that's a credit to the team upstairs, how they put our teams together. They get the right guys and they fit, and we get to play for championships.
Yep, next man up mentality. They're in shape, ready to go whenever their number's called, and they produced for sure. They just need more time.
Well, we need more minutes in the game to get everyone out there.
It's hard to play everyone.
Do we go back to 48 minutes? We're going to chat through a few more of the season and look ahead to NBL26 after a quick word from our sponsor, Chemist Warehouse.
Score yourself a great deal at Chemist Warehouse. Find huge savings on all your favorite brands across vitamins, sports, nutrition, fragrances, hair care, plus heaps more. Shop in store, online, or click and collect at chemistwarehouse.com.au.
Boss, we're back. Take me through a few of your favourite moments of season 25, NBL 25.
Oh, Brett, thank you for the podium. Okay, get ready to listen. No, I mean, it's a long season. So, the home games, they kind of all run together.
Kind of forgotten something.
When you're trying to think back all at once. The first game back is always a fun one because behind the scenes, you see a lot of the people you haven't seen in a long time. They're also excited to be back. We have a lot of volunteers. Some of them might listen to this podcast. A lot of volunteers and people who do it because they like being there. They like being part of it. They also like seeing the same people at the games, and it's
part of their life.
So it's cool to see them, and it's cool to get back in touch with those people.
So what's your moment?
That's one of my moments.
Okay, one.
Do we have to have one or three?
I got to list them off. Go ahead, keep going.
Another one would be behind the scenes. Putting that jumping castle, that jumping castle, when you walk in.
I can only see it from up in the chairman's.
Well, we got to set that up and take it down. It's a beast. It's a real beast. Lounge. So, I remember one game we just had an incredibly tight rule of the jumping castle. Easy to get on, take off the cart. That was a big day. Again, these are things you're not getting. This
and it was a favorite moment.
Yeah, it's a huge moment. You're not getting this kind of info through the other podcast. I like to see Bring the Blue talk about the jumping castle.
Bring the Blue. I reckon Tommy might jump in the jumping castle.
And then so for me personally, through the year, and this is an easy one to pick, but those two Perth games. With Chris, I was able to actually see that second half, and especially if I had to pick one, it'd be the first time he did it. How many points did he have in like 4 minutes?
40s.
He had 46 for the game, I think.
He had 25 in the second quarter. No, third quarter,
Third quarter, and it was kind of, he had 20 points before you really realized what was going on, and to be able to see something like that.
And he did it again.
Yeah, and then he did it again. There are so few people in the world that could ever do that or dream of doing that. I mean, he's a world-class shooter. And it's just cool to be a part of seeing it at the games and a part of, the team that he's on. So that would be my one special moment from the games. Brad, let me kick it back over to you.
Yeah,
can you give me some highlights?
Yeah, thanks, mate. Plenty of highlights for me personally off the court. First year, out of the jersey and into the
easy year,
into the chinos.
Adjustment, no matter what you're doing, can be tough.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed getting around the community, dealing with our sponsors, our player sponsors, just general commercial things that I've been a part of. Hanging out with my 400 plus people in the sold out Melbourne lounge pre-game, checking up on everybody, seeing how they're all doing. It's a nice feeling to see them coming into the game, and they always ask what's on the menu and all these kind of things. And sometimes I'm a little bit late down to the court because I'm just helping myself to a quick meal. Thank you, Leah and the crew.
You got to eat.
You got to eat. You got to eat. And also seeing, the behind the scenes. As a player, you can kind of take things for granted. You just rock up and play. And that's how it is. And
you feel like
seeing how the revenue's made, seeing what the volunteers do, like yourself, and you're not a volunteer, but all the people around the club, just the effort they go to. Probably my favourite moment was the away game, or one of the favourite moments was the away game when Chris hit the game winner versus New Zealand. The play, he came up the middle, nailed the three straight down the middle. That was for the game. That was a huge shot in a tough environment down there in Taranaki. I think I said that correctly. But without saying though, without going past it, we witnessed probably the greatest game in the modern era. The night IC had 38, Cotton 30 plus,
absolutely.
Doolittle 30 plus, CG 30 plus. We win the game on a free throw. That's right up there with NBL games of this era, even ever. So I can't go past that one.
Yeah, that's a great one to end on. So am I now hosting now?
I don't know what's happening. There's been a bit of a handover. I can go back.
Yeah, I'm going to hand it back over to you to host. And I'll just jump
it's
in
kind of been the way for the previous 11 episodes.
Your co-hosts.
Co-hosts, sorry.
Well, yeah.
But, balls, before we know it, NBL26 is going to be here. The conversations about rosters and all these kind of things, where guys are going to play. Guys will go overseas. Guys will play NBL1. Some guys might just go on a little holiday and drive around Australia in a caravan. Who knows? Can't imagine any of our guys doing that, but it might be fun.
The older guys.
Talk us about what you like to do in your off seasons before we go and figure out what our guys are going to do. Did you have a particular thing? Did you
My
go play?
off seasons, I played a few times, Puerto Rico, New Zealand, and Israel.
Puerto Rico is the new NBL.
Yeah, well, I mean, so
you
the
were a
season
pioneer.
starts. Yeah,
You were one of the OGs.
Yeah, not to brag, but no, I think the guy before me was Redditch.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe Redditch went after I did. Anyways,
Say you.
it starts right after. It's like works perfectly.
It really fits in nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah. I did that a few times, and I probably wish I would have played maybe some NBL one. Back then, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't from here, so I didn't realize kind of the connection there to the community.
Yeah, that's what's great.
It's good for post career, good for your post career, maybe job and stuff like that. Other than that, when you got kids and you finally get some time to spend with them, and your wife is kind of like, okay, it's your turn now. I got to go to the gym in the morning and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
And going home, so
Going back to the States.
Yeah. If you play somewhere, then you can't go home and visit. So a few times I didn't play, we went home and visited with family for 6 weeks or something.
Oh, my kind of thing was, obviously I played a lot of my career in Europe, so I just wanted to come back home and just relax for a bit. I'd give myself a good 3 weeks where I wouldn't do a whole lot of...
You only had maybe a couple months. You would only
I had maybe two and a bit months. And back in that era, it was a national team in the off-season, so you didn't really get a whole lot of time. When I came back to the NBL, I didn't even really play NBL 1 until the end of my career. I just would relax, be a dad, be at home with the kids. Stay in shape, obviously. I'd go and do things. I might go for a trip somewhere, but just more of a switch off and just be ready to report to training camp when I was required, but always come in ready to roll. Let's talk about United's off-season now. Of course, the Pelicans are coming to town. How do you think that's going to play out?
It's exciting, really exciting. So my kids have already said they want to go to that game.
Yeah,
they'll be there. They'll be there to see those guys. I mean, for the team, for the NBA to be coming out here is a big.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, we've been going there, getting games against them, which was a huge step in building the NBL's.
The growth is incredible,
the growth,
man.
And now to have a team actually come here now is much, another huge step in the right direction.
And they're not messing around either. I was lucky enough to have a quick chat with Dave Griffin, who's one of the GMs or something.
Yeah, Griff.
I should know him. Yeah, Griff. Should know his title, but they're going to come out here for like 12 days.
Yeah,
they plan on really setting up a training camp out here in Australia.
Yeah.
So there could be a few extra things on top of the game. So just keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, it's hard to get teams to come out. I mean, the NFL is coming out now too, but they always go to Europe and maybe South America and stuff like that. But the jet lag and stuff is a real thing. And we're dealing with NBA superstars who kind of...
Well, how many stars? The Pels, hopefully they can get... Well, they're all great. I'm talking NBA. We've got Zion coming out.
Yeah.
He'll be pretty cool. Might take him to watch the footy. He might be here for the grand final. He might be going for Carlton. Doubt it. But no, that'll be a great experience. A few of our guys are heading to overseas commitments. I see Rob's going back to New Zealand to play. Flynn is going to go back to the motherland, play in the New Zealand League. Marcus is off to Poland, of all places. Poland should be starting to warm up about now, so he's missed the coldest part of the year. And as for other guys, I'd imagine they'll just be around, staying in shape and being ready for whatever comes up. Of course, there's a free agency to talk about, but that's probably not that's not our pay grade. We're not free agency.
No, we can't speak on that.
We don't really talk on free agency.
It does come quick though. The season's over. You're devastated. A couple of days later, you're doing.
It's the quickest.
Yeah, it's
the NBL wraps up so quickly, man. Like Europe, I'd hang around for like a week, just make sure everything's secure. Coming back. But here in Australia, man,
He's just off.
It's game over Sunday, MVP Tuesday.
Yeah.
Guys are out. You don't want to step in the way of guys, furthering their earning capacity, of course. But, NBL26 is coming at us really quick, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of stories. Keep an eye on our socials. Keep an eye on all our feeds. Keep an eye on your emails.
Podcast next year. Benny, what can we expect from the podcast next week? You can hop on here.
Podcast?
Benny Hop.
We don't know what we're going to do with the podcast next year. Hopefully we have another great sponsor like Chemist Warehouse, or if anyone else wanted to jump on and sponsor. But we've loved having Chemist Warehouse as part of the podcast this year. It's always a tricky one to run throughout the season, as I'm sure everyone listening knows. We'd probably like to get a more consistent release schedule, but with everyone's schedules, between myself, Balls, Brad, we're all in and out of the office at all different times of the week, so it can be hard, but it's something that we love doing. We hope you guys all love listening to it, and hopefully we're back next year, whether that be in this same format or a shorter format, longer format, whatever it is.
New studio.
Yeah, the goal is to do this full time. I'd say the goal is to do this full time. Spotify, if you're out there, you want to purchase The Ringer.
I kind of skipped.
Maybe The Ringer needs an Australian brand.
Sorry, maybe. Just going back to business. I just touched on, we got Dash Daniels coming in next year. What a coup for the club to have a highly rated prospect like that. Our first next star that we've had for quite a while. Our first Australian next star.
Yep.
So keep an eye on that, guys. It's going to be really exciting for the club to have that kind of attention around.
Yeah, and he's already been here for about half a year.
He's done a bit of a stint with us, and I'm pretty sure he's going to hang around. This is his base for when he's not doing things in the States and camps and whatnot.
Which is at that young of an age to be able to have that kind of run up to a season next year is
It'll be pretty good.
Yeah, so I think he's looking to make a big dent in the NBL, and then, he's already projected to be lottery. Isn't he like a lottery pick already? So
Great Barrier Thief, Volume 2.
Double D. Does he have a nickname? Double D?
Double D. Well, his brother's the Thief.
Yeah, but he's more of a scorer, right?
The Great Bucket.
That's what I've heard. Well, he's already...
we got time to work on that one. Well, that one to Rattler. He seems to come up with some interesting ones. Shout out to our listeners. Thank you for listening to us all season. Thanks to the sponsor, Chemist Warehouse. Thanks to you, Balls, for giving up, 25 to 30 minutes every couple of weeks.
Like I said, I'd like to do it every day.
Every day it's possible.
Well, once we do it full time, we'll be out. We'll be twice a week, 3 times a week.
Content kings. Content. Thank you again. I'm Brad Newley. This is Adam Ballinger. Looking forward to NBL 26.